That's why the polarization of political ideologies, the behavioral ideologies is there. Today, after 2020, you are either a Democrat or a Republican, and you're a very core believer in that. You can either be a Bhakt of BJP today, or you could be a Chamcha of Rahul Gandhi today. That's how the social media defines you.
So hi, today we have Gauravdeep Singh, chairman of Initiators of Change. He is a humanitarian activist. So let's deep dive into his life and demystify his life trajectory. So hi Gauravdeep Singh,
Hi.
how are you?
All good, all good.
Yeah, so let's start with your childhood journey.
Ji.
How has been your childhood? How has been your upbringing coming from Punjab? So let's take it forward.
Sure. Thank you so much for inviting me, Shmeetveer. I come from a very lower middle class family, and growing up, it was all my life till my early adulthood was all about financial struggles. And when I talk about financial struggles, I talk about serious debt. So, right, the day I was born, we didn't have a house to go back to from the hospital. So that is the kind of life I've had. Thankfully, by God's grace, I also come from a very heavy religious family, very heavy religious background. My grandfather, my Nana ji, was the founder of Gurmat Gyan Missionary College, Gyani Jagjit Singh Sidki ji, and one of the most renowned ragis of his time. So growing up in that family was all about getting respect because of my Nana ji, because of my grandfather, and also dealing with financial struggles. So, but again, it's right from the age of 2, 3, the kind of background that I had helped me shape the life that I'm living right now. Always going to gurdwaras, going to stages for kavitas, for lectures, for doing various activities. My parents never let that financial struggle hamper my development, my career development or my character development. So it was always that, that small kid going into various stages, joining all the NGOs, working in all the extracurricular activities of the school. So I was a very active child since my childhood. So that's how my growth was.
If I deep down into like your educational background.
Yeah.
So I remember that you took science in your 11th and then you switched to mass media. So what's the story behind that?
I think that's what every student does in India, or specifically in North
Yeah, so
India,
that's
when they score good in 10th grade. So that's how my life also was. But I was a very mischievous child. I was that kind of a group leader who's the spoiled group of the school. I was that group leader of that school.
Got it.
And right from
The
sixth,
backbenchers.
Yeah. The backbench. I never cared about the benches. Even on the front bench, I was one of the most spoiled kid of my class. And so the whole 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th grade was just about creating a mess in the classroom. But I also scored good. So thankfully I scored around 90%. At that time we called it 9 CGPA. It was the first batch of CCE pattern, which is no more there now. So scored good. And I still remember I had a group of 16 boys.
Okay.
And I was called the group leader. So all 16 of us decided to go into science. I scored well. The other 15 didn't even score well. They just wanted to tag along. So we all created a group and went into science grade. And a year later, all of us failed. And failed badly. So right from 90% to I scored 28% in my 11th grade.
Okay.
Failed in chemistry, failed in physics, failed in maths.
Okay.
And I think the only subject I passed was English. That's it. I failed in all other subjects.
Okay.
And I was thrown out of my school.
Okay.
That's simply because one, I didn't know what I wanted to do in my life.
Yeah.
Because it was just...
You were very ambitious, like just like
No, I was not even ambitious. I was just tagging along with whatever my parents said. Okay, you have scored good, go into sciences. And I just did what every other kid would do.
Yeah.
I never knew what I wanted to do with life. So never really understood maths, never really understood science, never really had fun in that. So tried various coachings in 1 year. I won't say that I didn't study hard. I did study hard in that 1 year, but still could not score because that was not my interest area. So failed badly, thrown out of the school, and then decided I have a mentor in Ludhiana, Dr. Gauravdeep Singh ji from Sukrit, and I remember the day I failed, The only person I called was him, and I said, I'm coming to your place and I want to talk about what has happened in my life. Because specifically, when you're coming from financial struggles and when you're from a lower middle class family and you're a boy, and there are too many expectations in that household,
Got it.
and when you are not able to fulfill that expectations and you fail academically, it's kind of a mourning at your place that's happening at
It's
that
like a
time.
very
Yeah,
trauma-
yeah, it's
traumatic
very
event.
traumatic for the family, not more than you. It's because you also have your friends. Okay, I have failed, the other 15 have also failed, but for your parents, their son has failed. So for the family, for the relatives, oh, your child has failed. Okay, so that kind of comments start coming. So the day I failed, thankfully my mother and my father, they have been very, very supportive of whatever I've done in my life. They have been like that, okay, you have failed, okay, let's party. But
Okay.
they were like that, okay, it's your first big failure, let's party. But again, they had to handle the relatives. They had to handle the neighbors. They had to handle the school comments and everything. So the day I went to Dr. Sarabjit Singh Renuka, I told them that I want to redeem myself. Tell me, how should I? And he said, you don't even know yourself. How will you redeem yourself? How are you going to come out of this failure if you don't even know yourself? So take a piece of paper, start writing about yourself, who you are, what you want to do. So that was the day I took a paper and I wrote something about myself for the first time. I wrote my qualities, and that's when I realized that never in our lives we actually think about what we want to do and who we are.
Yeah.
We keep judging others. Like, I'll keep judging you for what you're speaking. I'll keep judging my friends. I'll keep judging my teachers. And that's what we do. We judge others and we gossip about others. We don't
We
even
don't introspect.
we don't introspect. And that's when and he shared with me that, Gaurav, you need to go back and do Sahaj part and understand who you are. And that's when you go back. I went back, I just opened YouTube, and the first shabad that came was Man tu jot saroop hai, apna mool pachan. That you need to find yourself. You need to find your source. If you don't do that, you're not going to succeed in life, no matter how hard you work. So, and also, Sanch kari jai guna keri chhod ab gun chaliye. You look for your qualities, and you don't focus on what's bad in you, and you need to keep letting that go away and keep finding your qualities. So that's what I did. Miraculously, what happened with me was, from a person who scored 28% in 11th grade,
You were the
went back home, started my 11th grade once again, and with mass media stream now, because I knew my qualities. I was a good orator, I could write well, I could think well, I was a poet, I could write poetry well. So shifted to mass communication as a stream, and 3 months later in the May exams, again the score was 95%. So what changed? It wasn't that
So
I
you
changed.
topped the district, I think.
Yeah, and two years later, I was the topper of 12th grade in the district. So when I asked myself what changed, I was still that mischievous guy. I was still that fun-loving person. I was maybe not studying as hard as I was studying in 11th grade when I was in science. I was studying for a lesser amount of time, but I was still scoring very good because now I knew what I wanted to do. And I was happy with what I was doing. And when you're happy with what you're doing, the results are the results are inevitable. That they're going to come eventually. So you won't even have to run for the grades. You won't even have to run for the scores or 95% or being a topper.
it
I
will
never even
eventually
thought.
come.
I never even thought of doing that. I was just enjoying the whole process of mass communication, and that's how the journey of from a failure to topper came.
Okay. So, once you are done with your higher secondary, your senior secondary, and then you think about your bachelor's, master's. So, what were your plans at that time? Like you were thinking about, say, I have to want to shape my career into something related to media,
Yeah.
or I want to try some other things. What was your mindset at that time?
So I had two goals in mind. One, I could do well in psychology because I had optional subject as psychology, and I had seen my mother go through bipolar disorder during the years of debt and financial struggles. So I had seen my
So
mother
what
very
are the
closely.
symptoms of these,
So
like?
so I had seen my mother very closely. One, bipolar and depression are mostly hereditary.
Yeah.
It comes from the family.
Yes,
So
yes.
it came from my grandmother to my mother, and from also to my Masi and her daughter.
Got it.
They all had to suffer various episodes of it, and at various levels. So bipolar is a mixture of being very sad and being very happy.
Got it.
So you, and to the world it would look very normal.
Yeah.
The bipolar is you're very perfectly normal in front of people who are coming to your place to visit you, but you are totally down or totally not in your senses in front of your family maybe. So my mother had to go through bipolar, and when she was going through it, I realized that not only media, I want to study this field as well. So I took I wanted to study in Delhi first, but my family could not afford it, the rent and everything. So I went to Chandigarh.
Okay.
I went to Chandigarh SD College. I took admission in mass communication, BA psychology, along with an add-on subject mass communication. So I had two career options. One, I could be a good psychologist. Two, I could be a good journalist.
Okay.
But then things happened. 1 year later, my parents called me up that we don't have money right now and we won't be able to take care of your expenses anymore. And my sister also had to leave her studies in the final year of her college because of the financial issues. So when we left that, I came back to Ludhiana. And I had to work. So the only way I could find work was I didn't know psychology. I was not qualified to be a psychologist because I had to leave my studies after first year of college. So the only career option I was left with was journalist because I could speak well, and with that skill I didn't even need a degree. I had a good skill and I could just go and find work in some channel and some and digital media channels were coming in at that point of time.
Okay.
They were new. So the first media channel of my city was Ludhiana Live. So I just went in there and I said I wanted to work, and they said, okay, you come in and we'll start with the news reporting. They started news reporting with me. So my first salary was 8,000 rupees.
Okay.
Before that, I had worked as a typist in an NGO for 2,000 rupees a month.
Okay.
So that was my first salary. Second was this 8,000 rupees.
So yeah, this we have to go through that cycle. I remember when I joined as an internship at EY, my first salary was 15,000.
Yeah.
So we have to go through that.
Yeah, we have to go through that. But what I would say in that in cities like in tier 2 cities of India, that salary doesn't really go from 8,000 to 80,000.
Okay.
It goes from 8,000 to 15,000 only.
Okay.
In Punjab, you won't see in Punjab and in Haryana or in Jammu or Himachal, you won't see students getting paid well for their work because they're not getting as much as they would get in Delhi or Mumbai or Bangalore. Also, the cost of living is also very less. It's not as big as expensive as Delhi. But again, the salaries are not good. So I started from 8,000. In 2 years, I was getting 15,000, 18,000 a month. That was it. And there was no scope of getting more than that, even if I work for 5 years more. So then I shifted from digital media to television.
Okay.
I started working as a TV anchor at Fateh TV.
Okay.
A religious TV anchor.
Yeah.
So that's when I started as a program manager in Fateh TV. I started two programs of my own. I worked there for 4 years. This was the time when Initiators of Change was being shaped in a new way. So Initiators of Change started when I had to leave my studies. 2015, I left my studies.
This means your first year of college.
First year of college. So
Okay.
2015, Initiators of Change. 2015, I remember Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam died. 27 July 2015 was when Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam left. And I was a huge fan. That man had inspired me to the core. I remember I met Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam for just 2 minutes in my 12th grade of school.
Okay.
He came to my school in Ludhiana and I was the school captain. I was given an opportunity to honor Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam.
Okay.
And being a 17-year-old kid, 18-year-old kid, that is the biggest moment of your life. You're honoring the president, and it's not even the president, it's the missile man of India, Bharat Ratan, and probably the most loved person of the country. So for me, that was a very big moment. And I was on cloud 9. I just wanted to tell everyone that I'm meeting Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. And I had told the photographer that you be ready. You just have to keep clicking. I'll just go and meet him and you have to be ready. And it's a very funny incident that I go to Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. He's on stage and I have this tray with me, which in it, there's a book in it and there's a trophy in it. And I go and I walk on towards him, and I'm not even looking at him. I'm looking at the photographer. Where he is? Where is it? So I'm looking at the photographer, and Dr. Kalam, when he came in, there was a huge chair for him. He said, "I don't want to sit on this chair." He removed that chair and he asked for a normal teacher's chair. He sat on that, and when I went to him, and he just said, usually people take trophies, and he said, yes, my son, what can I do for you? And
Okay.
I was so shocked that, okay, now I have to answer. What do I answer? And then he shook hands, and he's shaking hands with me. Here he is. And I wanted to shake hands with him, and my hand is like this, and I'm not even looking at him. I'm looking at the photographer. And I'm like this, and I have that picture of it, and you can show it to your audience. And I'm looking at him, and he's not even bothered anymore. He just took the book and then put it in his tote bag, and he didn't even care about the trophy. And my photo is like this. That's the picture. He's not even shaking hands. It's an empty hand.
Okay.
And that moment made me realize that running after pictures is not what I want to do in my life. Running after photo ops or running after big trophies is not what I want to do in my life. If I have to become this big, I have to care about books. I have to care about people. I have to care about what a young guy in front of me would do. And I need to be empathetic. That's what I want to do in my life. And that changed my life. 2014, I met Dr. Kalam. 2015, Dr. Kalam died. So the first reaction was, I want to do something for Dr. Kalam.
Okay.
So that's how Initiators of Change was formed.
Okay.
Initiators of Change was formed for two reasons. One, I wanted to do something for Dr. Kalam. Two, I had been in many organizations till that time. Many NGOs, many Gurdwara committees, many political parties. I remember Aam Aadmi Party, when it came to Punjab, H.S. Fulka ji was contesting from my place. And I was that enthusiastic kid involved in that as well.
In that term, they lost, no?
Yeah, he lost.
Yeah.
And it was a national election. So I was volunteering with that as well. So I would go anywhere and volunteer. That was my personality.
Okay.
But I was very annoyed with one thing. Youngsters in this country and across the world, I would say, are not valued with their ideas. They are valued for their voices. I would say every political party wants youngsters in their political party because they want them for rallies, for motorbikes, or for the sloganeering, and that's what they want them for. They don't want their idea. The moment you give your idea to an elder, to a founder of a political party, or a founder of an NGO, or a founder of a Gurdwara committee, head of a Gurdwara committee, you go and tell them that I want to do this for the betterment of society, their reaction would be, you're too young to give ideas.
Yeah,
It's your age to learn,
This
brother.
happens.
You learn. Beta, you learn. It's not your age to give ideas. It's your age. And then they would go on and say youth is the future of the country. If youth is the future of the country, you take their ideas. Why are you so scared to take our ideas? So that was the second reason that I was very annoyed. That now if you want youngsters, we're not just going to come with our bikes and our voices, we're also come with our brains. And if you do not want our brains, we're not going to work for you. So I
Yeah,
wanted to
that's-
create a
that's a-
space. I wanted to create a space where youngsters could lead. So that's when
Okay.
Initiators of Change was formed.
Okay.
Right from 2015. Another incident that led to that was because I had to leave studies. So when you're going through debt in your family, you don't only lose money, you lose respect. When you lose respect, people are coming to your place asking for their money back, and you can't give it. So you're losing all the respect in front of your relatives, your neighbors. So that's what my family was going through. So at the age of 18, I could not give them the money. It was a debt of huge 20-30 lakh. I could not earn that at the age of 18 because my salary was 8,000. I could not give that. What I could do was I could give the respect back to my parents. So Initiators of Change was formed with an intention. One, I wanted to do something with the youngsters. Two, I wanted to make my parents proud and give that respect to them so that they are respected in society. So all of these things led to Initiators of Change. So when in 2018 I was working with Fateh TV, I left everything. I decided to work full time with Initiators of Change.
So basically, Initiators of Change, we can say it's like social entrepreneurship.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
social entrepreneurship.
So when you are going through this journey of social entrepreneurship, there are like hell of challenges.
Yeah, there are.
You have to manage the finances, people, teams, resources,
Yeah.
etc. So tell us a little bit about the background of that. That what were your initial team members? How did you found them?
Yeah.
And like stuff like that.
So initial team members, there were 4 people.
Okay.
Me, my real sister, my elder sister, she's still there, and 2 of my best friends, Jabjeet Kaur and Sifti. We 4 were the founders, and we formed this organization on Friendships Day.
Okay.
It was 2nd August 2015. 27th July, Dr. Kalam died. 2nd August was a Sunday. It was the Friendships Day.
And what was the pitch you gave them?
And I didn't give them any pitch. I just said, I want to do this.
Okay.
And you're a part of it. And they said, okay, we're a part of it.
Okay.
Me and my sister, we are those crazy people. Right from our childhood, we kept organizing events. Like right when I was 8 years old, my sister was 11-year old. We organized a reality show for our locality. We saw it on television and we said we want to do it. And we named it Super Kids Rolla Pola Show. I don't know what it was. We named it that. So me and my sister were those crazy kids who wanted to do something or the other every other day. We wanted to do something new every other day. So anything that I would go on and do, and my sister would say, okay, I'm there.
Okay.
So Didi supported, and both of my best friends, they supported. And
there's
then,
like a bond in the siblings, no?
Yeah.
That also comes like a very natural to.
Exactly. And I've been blessed with great friends. Trust me, I've been blessed with great people in my life. I've been blessed with people who would support me just for my intention to work. Nothing knowing what they're getting, what is going to be there, what is the plan. They never even asked for it. I had a friend, Siddhant Sharma. He worked with me, waking up at 4 a.m. every day, serving tea with me.
Okay.
Not even knowing what is going to happen, but just working because he knew that I was doing something good for my family and for society. So I had great people around me. So one, I was lucky to have good people. I was lucky to have good parents. I had lucky to have very supportive parents, good mentors. So the reason Initiators of Change survived even without money, because we had zero money. For 2 years we didn't even raise money. We never even raised funds. I never even knew how to raise funds. I never went to raise funds. We worked without money.
Okay.
And we worked without money because we had good people. We had good mentors who bought us sponsors. We had good people who worked with us for that. I never had to raise money. So my initial struggles were how to manage a team full of youngsters without any elder being involved. Because when you are...
And they are also working like pro bono, na?
Yeah.
You're not giving any money
yeah,
to them.
no one is earning anything.
Yeah.
And although
That's a
they are
big
ready
challenge,
although they are ready to give all of their time, but no one knows what to do.
Yeah.
So you're all 18-year-olds. You're starting out an organization.
Yeah.
A social entrepreneurship was not even in our minds. We didn't even know what was social. See, we were in Ludhiana. It's an industrial city. Social entrepreneurship as a term came into our city in 2020. We started in 2015. We didn't even know we were forming an NGO. We just wanted to organize an event for Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. There was a conference. That's how we started. But then you evolve. Right now, today...
You took the first step.
Yeah,
basically.
today again that Charan Gur ek penda jaye chal. Satgur coat penda aage hoye leta. That you just, if your step is fine, you need to be in, you need to surrender to God. You need to surrender to the will of God, and you just need to take one step. The Almighty will take millions of steps with you.
Yeah.
And He'll hold your hands, and He'll take you there where you want to reach, where you don't even know that you want to reach.
Yeah.
So I believe that sometimes you don't really know what you are building. You're just doing stuff, and Paramatma is taking care of you.
Yeah.
And He's there. He's there building a path for you. You just have to trust the process, and the intentions have to be fine. I believe that we are today successful. I would proudly say that today we are successful. We are running 8 branches. All of it happened because we were just too pure to understand what was happening.
Yeah.
We were too innocent to understand. Today I see kids with so much clarity. I go to Bangalore, I go to Noida, I go to Gurgaon, I go to Delhi, I see kids in UK, I see kids in Mumbai. They have so much of clarity. I want to form this organization. This is how I'll get funding. And sometimes I get scared. I didn't know anything. And even today I'm learning.
Yeah.
I am very weak with papers. But I believe that all those things you'll eventually learn. What you cannot learn from the society, what you cannot build from the society's race is your intention. That has to come within. Your intentions, your purity, your innocence is what will take you to success, because all other things you can learn in your way. Maybe it will take 2 extra years.
Yeah.
So I never wanted to get into the race of getting into things quickly. So my initial struggle
Basically,
was...
it's like all about patience and perseverance.
Yeah, it's all about perseverance and believing in the path laid for you by the God. I am a very religious person, and I believe that the amount of power you get when you trust that, okay, tu mera pita, tu hai mera mata. He's sitting there. He's there with you. And when you understand tum karo pala, hum palo na jana, he is doing good always. You are not believing that it's good for you. You need to
it's
believe.
like
You just need to believe
we
that.
have to discover that. No,
Yeah,
basically.
you are yet to discover.
Yeah.
That
we are
it's-
thinking that why is it happening with me? And
Yeah, we always keep blaming, but when you trust it that, okay, whatever is happening to you, it's so perfect for you. Just imagine if I had not failed.
you have never would have.
I would
started.
have never found my qualities.
Yeah.
Now just imagine if I would have never come back due to financial struggles, I would have never formed Initiators of Change.
Yeah.
And I would be working for 15,000 rupees today.
Definitely.
So-
So everything happens for a reason.
Everything happens for a reason, and all those things that came into my way helped me get out of that debt trap. I never even thought that I could earn lakhs. All I could think was that I want to earn 25,000 rupees a month.
Yeah.
And today I earn 4 times, 5 times than that. And I could help my family come out of debt because I just trusted the process. That, okay, something will come out of it. Something will come out of it.
Yeah,
And
you
something-
were exploring, no? You were like just giving your hard work.
Yeah,
Basically following the principles like kirat karo naam.
Yeah. You just have to be pure, and you never know when the trigger is going to come, and everything's going to be sorted like this. So that, and you have to wait for that one thing, and that can only happen with perseverance.
So let's talk about a little bit numbers of Initiators of Change. So where actually the organization has came up to, because it had been reached a milestone.
Yeah.
And what is the future, like your upcoming projects? What's the vision behind it, and how do you want to take it forward?
First, I apologies, but I never define Initiators of Change with the numbers.
Okay.
Although we have huge numbers. I would say quickly that we started with 4 kids. We are today an organization which has more than 2,500 volunteers. We are serving in 8 branches.
So it gives inspiration. Numbers
But for me, what is an inspiration is, I never define IOC with numbers. We always call it a family. It's IOC family. Our t-shirts have written IOC family. Our hashtags are IOC family, because I want to create an organization. I don't want to get into Forbes 30 under 30. I don't want to get into an organization taking me to United Nations. I don't want to do all of that. I really don't want to get into that. I do not want recognition from international organizations. That may come, that may not come. I don't want that. What I want is, I want to build a space where I can qualitatively analyze the love. I want to create a space where youngsters are not competing with each other, where they're working for each other's growth, where they're working for society. I trust me, and when I say this, I'm not even making this up. I've had so many youngsters come up to me and say that they wanted to give up on their lives, but they didn't do it because they got IOC. They got IOC family. When we started, the first 2 volunteers that we had, one did not have her father, and the second one was going through a financial struggle with a monthly income of 5,000 rupees. Today, one of them is a film director. Second is preparing for UPSC.
Okay.
And both of them are working at great levels. Arshpreet Kaur and Reet Singh, I love them. And so many of them have come and found a life at IOC. So I define IOC as a space, and the only space, because I have not seen many young organizations. I have not seen even a few young organizations where there's no race. You go to college societies, you go to so and so clubs of colleges, you go to all of them, youngsters are competing with each other
Yeah.
for the post, for everything.
There's a race.
Yeah, there's a race. And thankfully, my IOC's biggest achievement is that we are not competing. We're working for a collective growth of youth. We're working for collective leadership creation. And that leadership creation turns out to in such big numbers that we have got. So numbers are byproduct. Numbers are a byproduct of the success that we have achieved of our love. Love is our achievement that we have been able to create.
So so from the conversation we had till now, it's been like very natural that you are a spiritual person.
Yeah.
But how can say we can relate spirituality to the modern world?
Yeah.
because these days, you know, about, as you mentioned about the mental health,
Yeah.
the mental wellness and stuff. So how can spirituality work in curing that?
See, for me, religion or spirituality or Gurbani, it's not even for me, it's for the world. It's eternal,
It's eternal, yeah.
it's timeless, and it will always be there. The world may become as modern as it wants. Gurbani is going to guide the world
Hmm.
whenever you look at it. You
Yeah.
saw it 550 years back,
Hmm.
you see it today. The principles of human behavior remain the same.
There, yeah.
Lust is there, Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Hankar.
Yeah.
All of it is there.
All of us there.
Ego, pride, lust, attachments, all of it is there. And this is what defines human behavior. No matter how modern you get. Today you can analyze mental illness. Today you can diagnose mental illness. 500 years back you could not. But the principles of human behavior remain the same. So the solutions will also remain the same. Gurbani will keep guiding the world. All we have to do is, yes, with the modern world, you can take, today I can diagnose a disorder. Today I can diagnose that I have stress. Today I can diagnose that I have anxiety. But spirituality will help me deal with it.
Yeah.
Spirituality will eventually lead me to a better life. I can take therapy. Yes, it's there today. It's there today. But for someone who can afford it, what about someone who cannot afford it?
Yeah.
Gurbani is there, free of cost, for everyone,
Yeah.
for the world out there. And it has treated people for centuries. And it will keep treating people.
Yeah. Yeah.
It won't ask you for a 30-minute, 1000 rupees for a 30-minute session. You open Gurbani searcher, you'll find a Shabad and it will treat you. It will help you treat. It will help you heal. And it does. Trust me, I have had anxiety. I have had anxiety for months. And I'm not, as much as I believe in psychology, Gurbani helped me more. More than the therapy. I won't say don't go for therapy. Yes, everything's there. But Gurbani also helps us understand therapy better. Gurbani also helps us understand our mental health better. Because again, you are constantly looking within yourself, finding your own self, who you are, connecting to your source. And when you connect to your source, you find all the questions and answers.
Yeah.
So Gurbani is relatable, will always be relatable. It's eternal. It will keep guiding the world till the time the world is there.
Let's talk about the youth.
Yeah.
Let's come to the youth, because you have been into now that space that you have been the leader of youth, somehow recognized at that, like that. So I would love to know first, like, what are the pressing challenges of youth, and how, and what could be the actionable solutions to that?
For Punjab's youth or for the, because I can more talk more about Punjab's youth because I work with.
Let's talk about
Punjabi
Punjab
youth.
and then general as well.
Yeah.
Let's
So
talk about
so I believe that
because
general as well.
distractions are there everywhere.
Exactly. So the two biggest problems today I see, one is, see, post-COVID world in developing countries, in places like India, have changed so drastically. The magnitude of that change was so big that we were not somehow ready for it. Somehow we were not ready for it. We were not ready for such big exposure to internet. Before 2020, we were getting 1 GB internet for 190 rupees, right? 200 rupees. Today for 200 rupees, you're getting an internet 2 GB every day for the whole month.
Yeah.
And that is not only, and it's unlimited Wi-Fi, fiber connections, and all of it. And with that exposure, you sometimes are not ready for it, to how to control it. So I believe that somehow youngsters are not in the driving seats of their life today. They are being driven by whatever is being thrown to them on social media. And that's how the polarization, that's why the polarization of political ideologies, the behavioral ideologies is there. Today, after 2020, you are either a Democrat or a Republican, and you're a very core believer in that. I have seen families, they're not getting married in Democrats and Republicans in US just because their beliefs have become so extreme because of what social media has thrown to them.
Yeah.
In
That's
India,
happening.
you can either be a bhakt of BJP today, or you could be a chamcha of Rahul Gandhi today. That's how the social media defines you. It's either left or either right. So two extremes. For Sikhs, you can either be Panthak or comrade, right? That's how people define you. You're either a communist, atheist, or you are a core extremist, because social media is defining you like
There
that.
is no balance.
But in reality, it's not like that. The real world is not black or white, it's black and white. We have, I would talk about my own self. In last 6 7 years, my ideologies have shifted from a core nationalist, pseudo nationalist, to a communist, to understanding religion, to a person who doesn't care about what political ideologies are, to a person who just wants to serve society. And this change happened because when you're growing up, in your growing years, the world is not balanced. You are constantly evolving. But social media is, it's like they're putting you in one frame and they're defining you in that, and you are made to believe that you are that. Because you watch one communist video and the other one is going to come in the next reel, and then you keep watching it and then you keep watching it and you start believing that this is my ideology. That's what happened in US elections 2016. That's what happened in Indian elections in 2019. So youth is being driven by social media. It's not driving its own life. That is one problem. Second problem, what I see today is, I talk about my homeland. I talk about Punjab. I'm not talking about other places. In Punjab, I see there's a huge problem that aspirations are not there. We're somehow giving up too easily. We have become too impatient. Our attention span has become too less.
Yeah.
We're just too impatient. We want to get things done, and if they don't happen, we want an easy escape.
It's like a convenient life.
And that it's, we want convenience. We want things to happen quickly, especially with the startup culture. Initially, you used to take 10 15 years to build a business. Today, you want funding in 1 year. And if you don't get it, you'll sell out the startup and you'll find another one. So that patience, that perseverance is lacking, and hence the aspirations. Because when you have big aspirations, you need to carry them with patience. And when that does not happen, you lose aspirations. And that's what happens with youngsters. Today, you see youngsters coming up with great ideas one day, and that totally falling out of energy the other day. And sometimes they come to me and they say, Vire, what's happening to me? I had this great idea. I said, there's no patience. You are not stable enough to carry that aspiration. First, that aspiration is not there. Second, even if it's there, you want a quick success or you want an easy escape. And hence the
Basically
migration.
short-term gratification.
Hence the migration in Punjab.
Yeah.
So Punjab's migration.
Let's talk about that a little bit. Like, let's deep dive into it, because I think the rosy picture that we see, that once I will migrate to some X country, maybe Canada or USA, I will get these short-term gratification, but it doesn't happen. Let's talk about the realistic picture of that.
It will never happen. Again, it's a fantasy world. Yeah, I believe Punjab's problem, and because again, we are not living in a real world. We are living in what is being told to us on social media. That okay, there's a world out there. Today you're going to go there. Tomorrow you're going to get a life. It's not happen. It never happens like that. You're leaving your homeland. In Punjab, you're already rich. I tell everyone that even if you want to go abroad, go with the vision. Go with an aspiration. Go for the highest.
Good career.
Go for a good career. But I would say that you don't even have to go out there and settle there. Go get good studies, come back, serve here. Here you're already a rich person. Now let's define who's a rich person. In the world, in let's say New York or in London or in Delhi, in bigger cities, how do you define a person who's rich? Someone who has a house, someone who has a car, someone who has a stable property to go back to, and a basic income. Right? That's what you define them as a settled person. In Punjab, you already have all of it. You're selling it to go abroad. You have acres of land with you, which is there. You have your parents. You have your good health. You have everything. All you need to do is get an income, get a monthly income, or let's say of 50. See, if you in Delhi, if you need 1 lakh or 1.5 lakh to survive,
there's 75,000, I think.
right? In Punjab, it's 50,000.
Okay.
If you have your own house, if you have your own car, you don't have to pay, if you don't have to pay EMIs, what are you going to do with that 50,000? You're going to save 30,000 out of that 50,000 because the grocery is so, like, it's so affordable. What else do you need money for?
Yeah.
You needed a big house, you already have it. Every village house is a big house. Every house in a village is a big house. So you don't, and I won't say that everyone lives in acres of land,
Yeah.
but even those who are not let's say I'll talk about someone who doesn't have a huge land, someone who has maybe just 1 acre of farmland. For them, it's important to move out, find work somewhere else, so that they can
Make
add
some
on to their
money.
family income,
Make some wealth and then come back.
then come back.
Yeah.
But for someone who's living in a city like Ludhiana or Amritsar or Chandigarh, it's stupid to go abroad. Because when you calculate that money, when you calculate that you spend 50 lakh rupees to go to Canada and then find a career there after 4 years, then you start paying that 50 lakh back. For 3 years, you cannot give anything back because you're studying. You can hardly get your finances sorted for your monthly expenses sorted. Let's say if I go to Canada today, I'll get a job of $2,000 a month, $2,500 a month, and my rent is $1,500, and that's what and then I have transport, then I have food, then I have so many things. I'm not actually earning anything. All I can do is survive for 3 years, and after 3 years I get work permit. Then I start earning, and then I start paying that 50 lakh or 25 lakh back. Then for the next 3-4 years I do that. So 7 years have passed. Then I start earning to get my own house. For 3 years I save for my down payment of, let's say, $1 lakh for a down payment. Then I do that. And once
Then
I
you
do
keep on
that,
paying them
and
till-
once I do that, I pay the down payment, and now I have EMIs to pay.
Until
So
you
you're
pay
not,
till-
and it's a vicious circle,
Yeah.
and then it keeps going on. So you're not really settled. You're just surviving. It's let's accept the fact that in bigger countries or in developed cities, you're just surviving. You are not rich. You're really not rich. Your next generation will be rich.
Yeah.
You will have to work for 50 years, and the next generation will be born in a silver spoon.
Yeah.
But that's in India as well. You work for one generation, work your ass off, and you'll find the next generation living with a privileged environment. It's the same thing everywhere. We are defining success through countries. Success is individualistic. It's subjective. Financial success has nothing to do with the environment. It's subjective. You can be a poor homeless person in Canada if you do not have skills, if you do not know how to manage your money, if you do not know how to manage your aspirations, if you are not aspiring big, you can be a homeless person in Canada. And there are so many homeless in New York, in Canada, in bigger cities, in bigger countries. And you can be a homeless person in India if you do not have proper skills. And if you have them, you can be successful here as well. There's no doubt. Let's take a basic example. Today we say there's nothing left in Punjab. We're saying that there's nothing left in Punjab. Move out, nothing left, nothing left. No government support. I believe all of it. I believe all of it. If you say there's no government support, fine. If you say there's no money involved, fine. If you say there are no good salaries, fine. Now let's talk about 1947. When our grandfathers came from Pakistan, did they have any of it?
No.
They built it. We are the biggest contributors in transport, agriculture in this country. And we created it out of nothing.
In those years.
We were literally refugees.
Yeah.
60-70% of us have trauma. Our families have, our grandfathers have migration trauma. Our parents have the trauma of insurgency years. And they have built everything in those years.
Yeah.
And if we are today saying that we have nothing, we're just thankless. Because the environment in Punjab today is 100 times better than what it was in 47. It's 1,000 times better than what it was in 1975, 84 to 95. Today we are living in a safe environment.
Because-
I won't say that the government is helping us, no. But at least today we are a financial power. Our families have earned something, they've given us houses. And also we are not a community which can be oppressed like we were in 1947 and 84, because today we are a global power.
And these days, I think at this time, we have the resources to build opportunities
Exactly.
for economic prosperity.
Yeah.
Like we can build businesses, we can build production houses, we can build industries, we can do anything.
Today you have internet.
access,
you
no?
have internet. You have
Yeah.
IT. It's everywhere. It's accessible to everyone.
Yeah.
It's not in the hands of elite.
Yeah.
It's in your hands as well.
Yeah.
In 47 or in 84, or if I talk about Punjab, Punjab has to be defined through morchas, right? Azadi Morcha, Punjabi Suba Morcha, Dharam Yudh Morcha. All of these things, when you define these phases of Punjab till Kisan Morcha, you will see that we have grown to become stronger. We have grown to become stronger not only with our character but with also finances. If we can own 60% of Canada's transportation in last 20-30 years, why can't we do it here? Why all of the startups have to come from Bangalore? Are we stupid? No, we're not. We're just not trying.
We are not trying
We're
it.
just not trying. We're just giving up too easily. We need to understand
We are
that
in the mindset that we have to migrate.
it's a herd mentality.
Yeah.
It's just a herd mentality. We have stopped believing in ourselves. And when you, it's again a problem. It's a problem of spirituality. If you would have read Gurbani,
Yeah.
you would have known Jo Brahmand hai, Soi Pind hai, Jo Khoje So Paave. The power that's in universe, it's there in our own body.
In our body,
Who's
yeah.
going to get it? The one who finds it. The one who searches for it.
Yeah.
Jo Khoje So Paave. If we understand this process, you will understand the power is not in Canada, it's not in US, it's not in London,
Yeah.
it's in your own self.
That's your answer. I think that's a very great conversation to have. And let's come to the end of the podcast, and let's just talk about like how you are looking your future and the upcoming projects, and then let's
See, I want to
conclude this.
in coming years I want to work for the youth. That's how I'm working. I want to spend my life in the service of humanity through youngsters. I want to create at least 100 more Gauravdeep Singhs who form their own organizations, who work for the society, earn their own money, make their parents proud. I'm not saying I'm a role model, but all I want to say is that if I have been able to reach here, I want more and more youngsters to reach at least at this level. I'm pretty sure if I provide them this level, they're going to take it 10 times higher. I believe every Punjabi youngster or every youngster in this world is powerful enough to follow the path of Guru Nanak. To see, people would kill me for this sometimes, but let's ask ourselves. We are just becoming followers of Guru Nanak. We are becoming followers of Guru Gobind Singh Ji. But let's ask ourselves, did Guru Nanak Sahib started Sikhi to create followers? No. They wanted to create more Guru Nanaks. They wanted to create more Nanaks. Hence Pailena became Guru Angad. They became Guru Nanak. Na? Hence Guru Harkrishan Sahib at the age of 8, we need to believe that at the age of 18 you can become Guru Nanak. It's possible. We cannot keep saying that we are nowhere. Yes, we are nowhere. Yes, we are not even 0.001% of Guru Nanak Sahib. But
It's all about
can
the
we be
qualities.
comfortable in it? No. We need to walk on that path to become a Guru Nanak. Because that's what Guru Nanak wanted us to do. If not, why would have Guru Gobind Singh Ji formed Khalsa? He said, Khalsa mero roop hai khas. When you say Khalsa mero roop hai khas, that means Guru Gobind Singh Ji wanted us to become like him. That's what Sahibzade did. That's what Baba Banda Singh Bahadur Ji did. That's what Paitaru Singh Ji did. They all became someone like their Guru. Today we are just very comfortable saying that, okay, I'm following Guru Gobind Singh Ji. No, we are not going to be his followers. We are his family. If I have to become his son, I have to become like my father. So I believe every Punjabi or every youngster in this world has a power, Jo Brahmand hai, Soi Pind hai, to become a Guru Gobind Singh. We need to walk on that path. That power will come. And at least once we start looking at that, maybe we can become someone like Baba Banda Singh Bahadur. If not Guru Gobind Singh. If we can never become like them, at least we can become someone like Baba Banda Singh Bahadur. We need to walk on that path. My goal is to create awareness amongst youngsters that they are powerful enough. That's my goal. I don't define my goal quantitatively. I don't want to reach these number of branches or this number or that number. That's a byproduct. That's a byproduct. National Youth Award came into my life. It came from the President of India. I gave it back 2 years later in Kisan Morcha. It does not matter to me. Any recognition does not matter. What matters to me is, am I sleeping peacefully when I see a youngster going to college just because I gave them hope that they could go to college? That's what I want to live my life for, and that is the goal. All the projects, all the numbers, all the awards, all the recognitions, all the social media pages, all the podcasts are just a part of that process, and the final destination is dying a very happy life. And if I die tonight, I'll be very happy that I have contributed in some young lives. That's what I want to do.
That's great. That's great. Thank you for inviting, and thanks for participating into this conversation. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for inviting
Thank
me.
you so much.